One of a Kind with Rob Van Dam is recorded in front of a live studio audience.
And so what he says to me is like, well, he says there's not enough money at the shows to pay everybody. And he says this. He says, as it is, I have to take from the SmackDown pool in order to pay you guys what I'm paying you. And when we brought ECW back on the WWE's platform, holy crap, did the pay go down? Oh my God, dude!
Seriously?
Look, listen to this. I'm going to be specific here. I'm going to detail this out for you so that you can understand. I got my guarantee for the whole year. That's why you don't sweat too bad, because they'll make up for it at the end if that's how the equation is. But bring ECW back. For the first several house shows that we're doing, they're running the same shitholes that ECW used to do. The TV would piggyback SmackDown, right? So it'd be SmackDown, and then afterwards ECW at the arenas. SmackDown would go on their channel, and ECW would be booked for Sci-Fi recorded. But the house shows, when ECW was on its own, they're doing the Ross Draver Ice Gardens. They're doing, yeah, literally. The
shithole.
All of them. And not advertising them, except on the internet. Why not? That's how ECW drew. It was all the smart marks that were on the internet. So this is why I tell you I was telling you before the show, when I listened to some of the shit, I sound like I'm screaming at it. I am screaming. Why am I screaming at you?
You're not.
I don't feel like I talk like with pushing this much normally, but I guess maybe it's.
I think you're good.
All right, cool. So the first several house shows we did with the brand new ECW, even when, I had, when I was champion, remember that short period? I'm wrestling Big Show, main event. Everyone knows he's got a multi 7-digit deal. If you divide that by the week, in order to reach at least 2 mil, that's just under like 40 grand a week, So in my mind, I'm thinking, and I can't remember if he had a 3 million guarantee. He had a really big deal, and I'm not saying I'm Big Show, but I'm the guy at these shows. I'm the fucking biggest and most over guy for sure at the ECW shows. As egotistical as that sounds, even if that wasn't a factor, main event 500.
What the fuck? Are you serious?
The same that I got paid my first house show match going in Atlanta against Johnny
Swinger?
No, the guy that broke his ass.
Oh, Stamboli. Johnny Stamboli.
Yeah. Yeah, first house show when I came in 2001, I wrestled him and I got $500, and that was the other time that I went to JR and said, What? Like, I make way more than that before I come here. I came here to make less money, and that, and what I'm guessing was WrestleMania 19 were 2 times that I went to JR and said, this ain't right, is it? What the fuck? So there's some insight for you.
That's fucking crazy. So after you win the title, you're going on those ECW shit tours, and you're getting a $500 payday at that point.
Yeah, and so what he says to me is like, well, he says there's not enough money at the shows to pay everybody. And he says this. He says, as it is, I have to take from the SmackDown pool in order to pay you guys what I'm paying you. And then wait, what? You're taking from the SmackDown pool and you're paying the ECW guys? Guess what? That doesn't sound fair either.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound fair to the SmackDown guys, right?
Yeah.
So,
listen, that's a bunch of horse shit. I will say that if they're putting you on shit tours and be like, oh, we'll create internet buzz because that's how ECW do it. Well, you're part of the WWE machine now. Like, put all the money behind there. Get some fucking merch out for these guys and put them in some bigger arenas.
I can't say this is fact, but I was told that they put a 10% advertisement budget on ECW compared to WWE. In other words, $5,000 worth of promotion versus $500, which is really get some posters printed up and pay some kids to put a few up in some windows and then throw the rest in the trash.
That's so fucked up.
Hmm.
That's so fucked up. Even at that point where it's like, okay, you know, it's like late 2000s or whatever, and you know, time to change. But it's like, dude, fucking, this is WWE. You got to do a little bit something more here for your talent.
But this is also, it's more evidence that weighs in on thoughts of, was it really brought back so you could bury it? Or was it brought here to succeed? You know?
Like, yeah, the deck is kind of stacked against you guys when you're doing this little.
Well, not to mention, even on the damn TV shows that we did, you got SmackDown for the first couple hours, and then ECW afterwards. So not only is half the crowd going to leave, but besides that, we're heels for the first 3/4 of the show. We're heels. We run, to promote our show. They have the heels run in and fuck with the top baby face or whatever and get all the boos, and they expect everyone to stay to watch us say, here's what we want to show you, after they were just throwing tomatoes at us. That I didn't think that was a good idea personally.
Well, A. Jobson adds to your point. He says you wrestled in front of 100 people at the Pima City Fairgrounds during your WECW run. I was there.
They definitely borrowed from the SmackDown pool to pay me. Wow.
Man.
Good times.
How about it? Holy smokes. Yeah, I always think about it too, like, when Taz debuted for WWE, it was extremely exciting as a fan because Kurt Angle was undefeated at the time. He goes out Royal Rumble 2000, and his music hits. The crowd goes absolutely insane at Madison Square Garden for him. And, like, I remember somebody telling Taz or somebody afterwards that, well, he's fucked because it wasn't Vince that got him that pop. It was Taz. And like, you kind of think about it like, well, Vince always had that. Like, if it wasn't his creation, or if he didn't put a hat on a hat, like, maybe the whole momentum wouldn't be behind you, so to speak. So
yeah, no, that's, I mean, if anyone listening somehow doesn't know, that's always been a belief, was that if Vince creates you, or WWE created you as a star, then they're going to get way behind you, stay behind you. Whereas if you created yourself and came in, you're looking at your run just being a run and you're done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wait, that sounded good. What'd I say? They got you back. I don't know. Run and you're done versus you stay and play. I don't know. I said something. Cool.
I'll go back and clip it up and make it make
me sound cool, man.
I'll make you sound awesome, Rob.
That's but also when those guys do leave, then they can't keep their names. Take them with them. I saw or heard word recently that maybe that's changing. I don't have any reason to believe that's true. I got no evidence of that. But that's why a lot of people, when they sign their WWE contracts, they're signing away their rights to that intellectual property. And someone like RVD, I was already RVD, so they couldn't really take that. They could share it with me for the term of the contract, which continues now as far as having the rights to make merchandise and the licensing deals. So,
One of a Kind with Rob Van Dam is recorded in front of a live studio audience.